You've heard me talk about Squares golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards the inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club and speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
Give me more Vibracore.
What are you talking about, Duffy?
I'm talking about more feel. I'm talking about more power.
I'm talking about
more forgiveness. I'm talking about more winning. We're talking about all new Vibracore.
Absolutely the longest and best peeling irons you'll ever hit.
We're talking about Mike Weir and Alex Chaker. You know these guys know.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk, BGT TV, BGT 2.0. Our website is bigsgolftalk.net or .com. I am Big John Quick. He is the golf father, Bill Cuevas. She is the golf diva, Amanda Sensor.
Yes, she be.
And roundtable discussion sponsored by Tour Edge Golf. Pound for pound,
nothing comes close.
golf's most solid investment, and wait till you hear what they got coming out really, really soon. So,
Oh yeah, I've been watching some of the stuff. So Scotty McCarron's wife, I believe it was, she won. I guess her country club thing, whatever. She won the championship. So Scott goes on there and says, "Oh, now I could use your parking space." And apparently she's like, "Yeah, if you carry my bags, bring the food, the whole thing." So, of course, me being me, I found it a perfect opportunity to do that famous quote: "Pound for pound, nothing comes close." And they liked it. And then she replied. So that was the highlight of my day while I was laying up in bed, feeling like I was going to die. And I was like, okay, my work here is done. And then I passed out again. So yeah, that was a highlight for that day. It's pretty cool.
Talk about pound for pound, nothing comes close. Out back in your neck of the woods, a 920-pound alligator was harvested.
How long was it? Does it talk about how long it was? Because they've been pulling out some beats, man.
Let me see here if they say
900 pounds.
Yeah, they pulled out like almost a 15-footer last week.
13 feet, 3 1/4 inches.
He's a big boy.
And that wasn't as big as the other one that they just pulled out. It was almost 14.
You gotta think, like 900 pounds. I mean, my parents just bought like an entry table that is from, I don't know where the wood is from, Thailand. That's where it's from. And it's like, it looks like a tree stump, but it's like carved all crazy. It weighs 900 pounds. You're not moving it. Like when you set it, you better have it in the right spot. And I think about that and I'm like, that technically, and I would say it's about 10 feet long. So like, that's the alligator. That's huge.
Yeah, no, it was no joke.
They open up its mouth. I mean, it looks like it could swallow a 300-pound guy. No worries.
No problem at all.
Like a Tic Tac.
It's nothing to them, especially when they do that infamous tuck and roll. They bite, and then they spin. They do the moves like the wrestlers.
Yeah,
that's what those wrestlers got it for. They should be calling it. The alligators should be getting paid.
Yeah,
that's exactly what the wrestlers do when they grab the person's neck and spin. That's what the alligators do.
I don't know. You hear the stories about people like jump, like obviously not a 13-footer, but like the guy, his dog got bit and he jumped
that happened all the time.
Like get his dog back and wrestle the alligator, but you're not wrestling a 13-foot, 900-pound gator.
No, you're not. and that's the thing that someone is at your front door. That's funny. Let me check. Take me off. I'll be right back. Let me.
Yeah,
love live radio. But yeah, it is. I thought that was a pretty cool story. It's not golfer. I mean, unless you run into on a golf course.
But you think about it, like you watch those videos of the golfers there was a meme video, I guess, that said when you're from Florida versus not, and the guy walks over and he smacks the gator. And he's a professional golfer, and he goes over and he smacks him, and the gator goes back in the water. And then there's another guy from like Europe, and he's playing, and the gator is just laying there, and he literally sees him and runs the other way. And I'm like, yeah, if you're used to it and you grow up, like if you're in Florida and you see them all the time, my grandparents were like, yeah, it's just part of it.
Well, it's just like rattlesnakes here. I mean,
right.
I haven't lived around rattlesnakes all my life. But like about a month ago, there was a rattlesnake on a baseball field. Where my first time ever coming across a rattlesnake here, I was and I'm screaming like a little girl, But here, I was like, I was the only one that got near him to actually smash a rock on top of him, and get him out because he was just so aggressive. And we think it was more of an adolescent, not a baby, but not an adult, more of an adolescent.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, because they
just for your information, those are the worst because they can't control the amount of venom that they release.
Oh, that's the same with scorpions and everything. Like the babies,
the mid-babies and the teenagers.
We were talking about like when you're used to it because you grow up. So like if you grow up in Florida and you see gators all the time,
you don't get used to it. You don't.
You're from the Bronx. Get out of here.
I lived in Florida for 19 years, unfortunately, during the terrible times of my life. But when I was
really
there,
quick, did I ever tell you about my experience with a gator?
Oh,
it was in Louisiana. I was golfing at TPC, Louisiana. And big signs. I mean, every hole had signs, beware of, gators on the course. And sure enough, I had a shot that was right next to the water, but it was elevated.
Sure.
So I'm just peeking around and just making sure there's nothing. I don't see anything in the water or like that. Nothing on on a bank or anything like that. And there was nothing there until I was getting ready to hit my shot. And all of a sudden he's trying to get up the bank and he snapped his jaws at me, and I heard the snap, and I ran, left my golf ball back there. I'm like running, I'm like with my 3-wood, I've been trying to whack the ground, and I'm like, I'm not to stay there. But that was my experience.
Don't love it. I don't love it at all. Yeah.
All right. Really quick, Amanda, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Brooks Koepka is on the Ryder Cup team. How about that as a captain's pick? And nothing negative from the team members, but I know we're talking Ryder Cup a little bit later on with our guest Robert Winskowitz is going to be joining us from Square Shoes, because for the European side, Sepp Straka has been picked by the captain Luke Donald on the Europe team side. So we're talking a little bit about that later on. But yes, sir.
I just want to show one thing because my stupid doorbell rang and it wasn't for me. But anyway, I wanted to show this neat picture. Blow me up, Biggs. Blow me up real quick.
He said, blow me up.
Blow me up. Look, folks. Stupid.
Oh, yeah. Gatorland.
Gatorland. And those huge animals were very close to us.
Yes.
Was there a gate in between you?
No, there was no gate.
We were standing right in front of them.
We were right
We
there,
actually fed them by
that's
hand.
Them without us.
Yikes.
That's them without us. So
we were standing right in front of them on that.
Right in front of them. So yeah, it was quite interesting when we sharing those. But those alligators, a lot of them have been rescued, raised in there. They are different.
They're a little calmer.
They're a lot calmer. Because usually you're not getting that close.
What Bill doesn't tell you is on the side of us they have 2 trainers one with long sticks to kind of help them keep them away from
Yeah. No, it was definitely a controlled environment. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Unlike the ones in the back of my old house or the one that rang my doorbell in the front of the house. So, yeah, they want to have alligator stories. I got an alligator story. One knows how to ring the doorbell. Just like maybe that was the reminder. Hey, remember the alligator that rang your doorbell?
Time?
Yeah, there's nothing like you ringing, somebody ringing your doorbell and the people are outside yelling, "Don't open your door."
Right.
Don't open the door.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, let's talk about some LPGA Q School news.
Uh-oh.
Seems like every year we're talking about something from Q School, but this one is with the LPGA, and there was some rocked with cheating scandal that comes with a surprising twist. And Amanda, I know, before the show, we kind of talked about this, and you're familiar with the situation. But Bill, Gabby Lemieux, who plays on the Epson Tour, I think we ran into her, disqualified herself from the first stage of the LPGA qualifying school in a shocking turn of events. What that might be, you might ask? Well,
I'm asking.
The 27-year-old who played collegiately at Texas Tech called out her playing partner for cheating, saying she incorrectly marked and replaced her ball on the green, which I get it. You're trying to get a card, and this girl might just beat you out for that card. But as I discover what she is claiming the cheating is, well, let's figure it out. The person didn't put their ball back correctly, unfortunately. It's not my word against hers. Our playing partners and caddies witnessed it also. If you want to play professional golf, even if it was a half inch off, it is still cheating, Lemieux posted on her Instagram account. Now, this is where I don't agree with. But shockingly, Lemieux, who must have been distracted by the improper ball placement, signed an incorrect scorecard following her round. Signing an incorrect scorecard obviously warrants a disqualification. Well, in the scoring area, she says, we hashed it out to figure out what we needed to do, Lemieux continued on Instagram. In the process of doing so, I signed a wrong scorecard. The lady repeated 75 back to me, and I acknowledged that it was right. A score on hole 15 was wrong. I bogeyed the hole instead of parring it. I was sitting in the car when I noticed they had me down for a 74. I marched back in there to make sure that the score wasn't just wrong online. Unfortunately, I did sign a wrong scorecard, and I'm DQ'd from stage 1. Well, I did my part to save the field from a cheater, Lemieux added. Unfortunately, I was too consumed with that to realize a score was wrong on my scorecard. I am glad that I noticed and called myself out. We need more honest people and better professionals to hold themselves to a higher standards so we don't have to worry about this. Now, I have my opinion about this, and the only opinion I have, social media is not for you calling out your partner on cheating. It just isn't.
No. I'll let Amanda go because I'm processing.
I think that there are people in this world that are so consumed with trying to find fault in others and trying to catch others in a mistake rather than noticing if something happens. I wasn't there. I didn't see the ball placement getting put back. I will say if you're going to cheat, that's usually not the go-to move is to
half inch.
Well, and so she said that normally you mark behind the ball. You can mark however you want. You mark in front of the ball, you mark to the side. You just have to put it back the same way. And she said that she put it back behind it.
She marked to the side of the ball and then put the ball in front. So basically she got an extra ball length.
So here's my thing. I think that karma is real. And I think the fact that you march right to your car and you post this immediately about calling the other girl a cheater and making sure everybody knows rather than
she's a
this
cheater.
is just what happened. In that same turn of events, you look at your score and it's wrong. And she was so caught up, and she said it, you know, maybe I was so caught up. You were. And I think that is your own fault, and karma is real. And you know what? You deserve every minute of being DQ'd.
Absolutely.
And I feel really bad.
Oh, no, but she made it a good situation.
I know.
I was arrested because I got drunk. I really got drunk.
And I called myself off for
and I'm
being
going to
arrested.
accept responsibility for that. It's okay because I accept responsibility for
I don't love it, and I don't love the attitude behind it. And I think this is the problem with women's professional golf.
And can I ask? And I want to ask anybody here. And I'm going to tell you, for me, if you mark on a side and lift your ball up, and then you put the ball back down, you know, you put the ball in front of the marker, you know, when you're placing your ball. That's not a big deal to me. Yeah. Is it a big deal to anybody else?
So rules wise, yes. But here's the thing. When I'm playing in Q school, or any competitive round for that matter, unless it was so blatantly obvious that all of a sudden now you're 3 feet closer to the hole, like, I don't know that I'm even concerned with what you're doing. I'm focused on myself and my round. I mean, I just don't know. And like I said,
I'm typically not even looking at people marking their ball because either I'm doing something trying to figure out my next shot, or
so Daniels, her defense, she said, this was not round 1 of Q school. And she said, I've played tons of competitive golf, and never once in my life have I ever been called on mismarking my golf ball. And she said, I feel like Gabby is trying to find something with the other player. And here's the thing, I don't know, because I'm not there, I'm not in it. But
just like going hole by hole looking for a violation,
looking for an infraction.
Yeah.
And it's like, you should worry about your own game and let it speak for itself rather than having to feel like you're going to go get everybody else in trouble. And they gave Abby Daniels, they gave her a 2-stroke penalty.
Okay.
There was enough people that jumped on board with this, which, okay, whatever. But the beauty in all of this, beauty in it all, guess who still, even with this 2-stroke penalty, made the cut to advance to stage 2?
To Florida.
So, suck it, because literally, I think that's what kills me the most is your main focus is to go to your car and write it on Instagram so everybody knows she's a cheater. Give me a break. Even if she was a cheater, I would not be posting that. That is between our group and our thing.
Why lessen the game? But my thing is, we just came back from an Epson Tour event and stuff like that. So they're not Q school, but it's the Epson Tour. And I saw a totally different picture with, I would say, 90% of the girls. Not 100%, but 90%, because there was some girls out there that I hope I never see them again. Their interaction, their just what they brought, the I'm better than everybody, and I don't like that. So you do have some of those out there. But if you see somebody doing something wrong repeatedly, as she stated, she did it this time. So it's not the first time. Why wouldn't you? Because it's still a group of women that are trying to bring this game and their game to a different level. Why not step to her and say, hey, I noticed you did this, but on the rules, because I saw it when we were in French Lick, one of the girls' rules, you can't do that because you'll break the rule. So the other girl actually told her, nope, don't you go get official. You can't do that because I don't want you to break the rules. Why couldn't she be like that? That would be a different story if we're sitting here.
That's my next question, and I know we're running out of time on this.
Yep.
My next question is, where were the two of them compared to each other? I mean, obviously it didn't make a difference because even with the two-stroke penalty, guess who's moving on to the next stage?
Thank God.
But where was Gabby? So I mean, Gabby sounds like she would have had a 75 and had a 74. So does that still make a difference?
Apparently for her, because she had to take the moral high ground, Biggs.
Also,
after you accuse somebody, she has to.
I don't understand why people are so concerned in golf. Like, this is what I don't get. You are literally like your score. It doesn't matter what anybody else shoots, right? Because your score dictates where you fall, and they take ties.
That's what my point is. Was that 74? That's 75. Even if your score is legitimately 75, where does that place you in the next round?
Right.
That's what you need to be concerned with. Not where by you trying to call her out and trying to disqualify her, and whatever you're trying to do. What's that? How's that gain to you if you have a 75? It has no gain to you if you have a 75.
So there was a gal that I played golf with that always, everybody knew when you played with her, she was going to try to find the infraction. And I was playing with her and I had a couple clubs in my hand and I went to my ball and I was chipping and I kind of tossed my clubs down on the ground. I mean, all scattered, not like laying perfectly, whatever, just kind of there. And she and her caddy came up to me and said, you know, you really should be careful the way you throw down your clubs because those are an alignment aid. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? So there are those girls out there that I was like, get away from me. I'm clearly not using it as an alignment tool, but I just think that there's a point between the integrity and then being absolutely ridiculous.
Well, like Bill
that was absolutely ridiculous.
Though, I mean, Gabby could have went up to Daniels and said,
"Hey, any point, I done the right thing.
You just placed your ball in this mark. Now, I don't know if you want to correct it or if you could correct it, but if not, you're gonna have to assess a penalty. You don't need to make it a big hoopla about this.
Don't wait till you have a crappy round to decide you want to blow somebody else. It is. It's dirty.
It's a dirty play.
All right,
that's disgusting.
Coming up next, Major Ed Polito from Heart of a Lion Foundation will be joining us next here on Big's Golf Talk. Amanda, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week right here on BGT TV, BGT 2.0. We're going to put out a number 9 and head over to the 10th tee. We'll be right back right after this.